All right, welcome back. And when you take a look at the women's standings, right through the middle of December, anyway, through the 17th, does anything jump out at you here?
It's hard to have anything jump out at you. This is just a muddled mess right now when you look at the women's standings. A lot of the same records, but hard to even compare those records because strength of schedule, I think, has varied so much between these teams.
All right, Omaha's played all but one of those games at home. South Dakota State with 5 losses. Kansas City, one of the other preseason favorites on the women's side, with 7 losses. Kansas City's got a new coach this year in Marcia Fries. They graduated Diane Hall-Jones and her 17 points a game, but they've got some scoring back. And Kansas City took on Eastern Michigan on Saturday. Well, the Roos did not get the win in this one, but they do get the Player of the Week. Emily Blakesley had the game of her career, 16 points for her. Elise O'Connor added 14 for Kansas City, but the Roos fall in this one to Eastern Michigan 74-69. Eastern Michigan lost by 1 earlier on at South Dakota State. They get the win here against Kansas City. If you want to do a little bit of strength of schedule comparison, Brad. But Kansas City has had the Summit League Player of the Week 3 times already this year. The latest is Emily Blakesley. You saw her with the 3 there. She was averaging 2 points a game, had 16 in that game against Eastern Michigan, also had 4 steals, 4 assists, and made 4 3-pointers in that game. We put the campus spotlight on 2 schools this week. First up is Western Illinois, the only school that's been in the Summit League since the beginning back in 1982, and here is more on the home of the Leathernecks.
Ray Rock Hansen came here in the 1920s. He was hired to be the athletic director, the football coach, and the basketball coach. And when he came here, he was a retired Marine Corps lieutenant colonel. And he had a great love for the Marines. He was very decorated, a lot of medals and a lot of recognition. And when he came here, we were Western Illinois University State Teachers College, and I believe we were called the Fighting Teachers. And Rock Hansen didn't think that was very intimidating for our opponents. So being a Marine, he went to the Department of the Navy and requested permission to use the nickname and the logo of the Marine Corps because of his love of the Marine Corps. Now, a lot of people around here thought that he was crazy and that it would never happen, but because of who he was and his recognition and his accolades as a Marine, they listened to him, and the Marines, the Department of Navy, then approved it and passed it along to Congress, and it was approved in 1927 by the United States Congress.
Western Illinois University is the only non-military school in the country that has been afforded by United States Congress decree to use the Leatherneck logo, the Leatherneck name, in association with the Marine Corps.
You know, there's lots of Bulldogs, there's lots of Eagles, there's lots of other nicknames, but there's only one Leathernecks. And I think they're promoting that now here through the university and the campus, that there's only one Leathernecks. And that's us, Western Illinois University. So it really makes us unique, and it gives us something to market and sell, and I think it gives a sense of pride to all the students that come to Western, not just our student athletes, that Western is so unique across the country.
I think great teams are close, have a high level of respect for each other, and so we take that idea from the Marine nickname Leatherneck, because obviously in the military you have to work together and you have to respect obviously the people above you, but also the people you're in the trenches with, so to speak. So it's a big part of who we are.
We share some of the same attributes and characteristics of the Marine Corps. Always faithful, never leave anyone behind. The fierceness, fierceness and competition, providing your best effort, all those attributes that are characteristics of the Marine Corps, we try to embody those into our student athletes, and I think we see that throughout the entire institution. So Western Illinois University as a whole is very proud of the Leatherneck nickname.
The name Leatherneck is important for us just because we resemble something greater than a football game, with the Marine logo and the Marine nickname. And having Marine on the team the past couple of years, it's important that we take things, see things from the bigger picture. And having the name Leatherneck kind of allows us to do that, and really lets us realize that we're not playing just a game, we're playing something that's more important.
The once a Leatherneck, always a Leatherneck is actually credited to Dwayne Roach, our former associate athletic director, who's now retired.
Well, I was with a group of alums, former athletes at one time, and when we were together, there was someone else came into the group, and this one guy, they asked him if he was a Leatherneck, and he said, "Yes, I used to be a Leatherneck." And I said, "No, you're still a Leatherneck." And He said, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, once a Leatherneck, always a Leatherneck.
Once you leave Western Illinois University, you competed as a Leatherneck, you're always going to be a Leatherneck. You're always going to be a member of the Leatherneck family.
We care about our former athletes and our alumni, and we want them to do well and their new adventures that they have. And so it makes sense to us to say that, you know, once you're in for life, whether you like it or not. And, you know, when we want that family to keep on growing and to keep on supporting our program.
It's once you're here, you're always one of us. And so it's always the Leatherneck family. And so once a Leatherneck, always a Leatherneck.
When we come back, we go from Illinois to Indianapolis and a closer look at IUPUI.